Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing your weekly horoscope forecast for the week of February 24th through March 1st, 2020. I'm going to start off with Aries. This week for you, Aries, it's all about you kind of feeling a little bit more comfort at home. You're not going to feel so motivated as the week begins to go to work and be at work, even though you may have those responsibilities. Your mind will be more on your household, your home life, and your money. There's something that may be going on in your life right now that is requiring you to be stronger than ever before. It's almost like you're going through some emotional crap. This could be a breakup. This could be any kind of situation, confrontation, a lot of miscommunication, especially since we are in the midst of the Mercury retrograde. That is not unexpected. You're feeling like almost everything is going wrong, but I do feel like you're still being strong this week, and a lot of you are going to be looking towards the future and looking towards the rest of the week. There is a female figure in your life that could be someone that you draw strength from, that you can confide in, or is a spiritual advisor in some way, and is giving you clarity into the things that you cannot see clearly for yourself. There is a sense of almost like a lot of you feeling in the evening times, especially when you are more relaxed and maybe at home, if you don't work at nighttime, of course, I'm talking to you. There is a sense here like when you are asleep or before bedtime, those few hours, your mind is kind of focusing a lot more intensely, especially if you have nothing to do and you're relaxed about things that worry you. And so a lot of worries are coming to the surface, but change is coming from all of this. And I feel like it is positive momentum. But you haven't reached that yet. You have to go through this week, and go through those motions to get to where you need to be. And then there's a lot of focus also, like I said, on your money. And basically, those of you that are getting your income taxes already on how to spend that money. A lot of you are going to be making some strong decisions when it comes to your money. And so this is the horoscope for the sign of Aries. Taurus, this week for you Taurians out there, if you are a Taurus sign, this week it starts off very light, the energy. There's a lot of love surrounding you. You're basking in that. You're also receiving that from other people, and it's just like an even exchange, very positive energy as the week begins. Your mind is also very focused on your career and your money in particular, and it's like you're going back and forth with the decision. You need to kind of choose one situation, one decision, and you're struggling with that in many ways. Some of you are also encountering some negativity from people on the outside looking into your life, and this could be through social media comments made on your Instagram, on your Facebook, from people that you call friends or strangers completely, that you may even run across in your day-to-day commute, that are going to question something about you. There's something that is unsettling, and for you it's almost like you're feeling judged by other people when they really don't know about your life and who you are. But Spirit is saying to remain calm, because while they are judging you, you're making your coins, you're making your money. This is a very productive week when it comes to money. So even though you may have your mind on it, it feels like whatever you're doing is the right thing, and it's going to yield you and bring you that money that you so want. I also feel like some of you may be going through something where you feel like someone has misjudged you or has treated you in a certain way that's unfair, and you haven't given them any kind of reason for them to have treated you like this. But this week there's a lot of revelations, and this doesn't necessarily happen this week. It feels almost like it has happened in the past few weeks, where you have felt judged by someone and you've had to kind of pull back and walk away from that situation. And this person could wiggle their way back into your life, or try to wiggle their way back into your life, and you're debating whether or not, if you're a Taurus out there, whether or not you want to go back to that person or even entertain this. I really feel like Spirit is telling you to keep going. That this situation has served its purpose. This person has showed their true colors, and it's no turning back. And in retrospect, you may feel guilty that you're having to do this, but I ultimately feel like this is the most positive thing that you could do this week. It's just, if someone in that situation kind of applies to you, just keep going and keep moving forward. No turning back. Gemini, this week for you, Gemini, it is all about your knight in shining armor, and so to speak. There's someone that it's in your circle, someone that's either a friend, maybe your husband, your wife, whoever it is. There's someone that's like a protector, and it feels like almost like that could even be you. And I feel like as this week, because I'm a Gemini myself, it almost feels like we are out there this week in particular trying to protect our best interests, but also protect others that we care about. There's this protectiveness about this week. I also feel like a lot of us are going to be experiencing a lot of swift movement from the mind. So a lot of us are going to be more verbal, even though we are in retrograde, which is not good because for Geminis, Mercury is our ruling planet. But it doesn't matter because we're going to still be able to eloquently get across the messages that we need to, and push past those mental roadblocks that sometimes the retrograde has in store for us. But I feel like, again, we're going to be using our agility, our wittiness to kind of combat someone that is trying to attack us or attack the people that we care about. And we're not having it. At the same time, there's a lot of focus right now, if you're a Gemini, on your love life. If you're single, there's just a lot of focus about, maybe you are tired of being single and you're tired of seeing posts of everyone out there with a couple and you are still by yourself, and you're beating yourself up trying to figure out why are you still single. And if you're in a relationship, there could be something that is coming up, worries specifically about your relationship, in particular finances. Perhaps your your spouse or your partner is not necessarily with a solid foundation financially, or there is some concerns about the future of your finances. And so I feel like if you are a Gemini out there this week, there's a lot of focus on that, but you're going to be finding that your partner is able to kind of bring you that the certainty and kind of make you feel more calm after talking to them and having these open communications, because the last thing that you need to do as a Gemini is keep that all bottled up inside. That is not good. That's not a proper way of channeling your energy. And again, if you're single, there's going to be a lot of focus on maybe what you can do to get back in the dating world, or get yourself out there to put out the best manifestations possible to attract that soulmate to you. Again, I feel like a lot of things, a lot of projects that we're working on this week in particular, and a lot of our past work, this is almost like a period as we go into, this week, it starts the month of March. It almost feels like we are getting some rewards. This could be in the financial area, which I do feel like it's a financial reward. If you are a business owner, you could be seeing a more upward trend in your business revenue this week in particular. But there is something abruptly that has to change or has to come to an end. And it's almost like you are at an end of a cycle, Gemini. Okay, so this week as we go into as we go into March, there is almost like a ending of some situation. Maybe it's your thoughts, and I feel like this is more of your thoughts and your anxieties, and putting them to rest and having that closure that you need, whether it's talking to someone like a counselor, a therapist, a psychic medium, a spiritual advisor, a Reiki master. Basically, you're going to get some kind of peace of mind, and that's what Spirit is alluding to. I also feel like things are going to be starting to pick up the pace a lot more for you, specifically if you're a Gemini and you're listening to this horoscope, or you have Gemini in somewhere in your chart, somewhere in your moon sign or your rising sign. This would apply to you as well. You may start feeling this week, like I said, things are starting to move a little bit more faster. What do I mean by that? Communication is going to start to pick up, even though we're in the retrograde. You being sought out by other people, your problem solving skills that are just phenomenal as a Gemini are more sought out this week than than ever before. So prepare yourself. It is going to be a very busy, a very intense week, and you could easily, not pay attention to an email. Do your best, take notes, set reminders, Gemini, okay? Cancer, if you are a Cancer sign, this week in particular, it feels almost like you are very connected and bonded to someone on a very emotional level. I feel like you thrive when you're able to communicate and show love and affection and receive that as well. It makes you feel complete. But some of you this week are really kind of feeling very much afraid. There is this feeling of being worried, and this feeling like you have so many things on your mind. It's almost like you are at a point of stagnation in your life. This could be in any facet of your life, your career, your love life, your home life, relationships, friendships. There is a level of stagnation, and you are assessing through your third eye. Everything's like your third eye is fully open this week. It's almost like you're receiving a lot of different downloads of information, and you're seeing things from a different angle, and you're over analyzing, and it's kind of overwhelming. You feel like shutting down, and you feel like just going away and being away from every single person, but you're going to get that clarity that you're seeking. I also feel like a lot of you could be going through some very difficult problems around a love life. It almost feels like maybe some of you, a select few of you, are going through someone that is cheating on you, someone that is not being truthful. There is something painful about your love life, something painful when it comes to a relationship for those of you that are Cancerians and that are in a relationship. And it's like there's no peace at home for you, and this is the place where you're supposed to be at peace. But every time you focus, and this week kind of is ushering in a big change that's coming. A big change that's going to make you more aware. And when changes come in big waves, it's almost to shake us up, to get us to move. Otherwise, we would not make those decisions ourselves. So I don't feel like it's something you need to be afraid of. But Spirit is telling you to pay attention to your vices. Pay attention to the things that are patterns that you are noticing in yourself and in others, and avoid those things, because again, that's almost like a way of an entrapment. It's a way of not really being able to break free from all of that. And that's what Spirit is trying to get you to see this week if you're a Cancer sign. All right, and now we're going on to Leo. If you are a Leo out there this week, it almost feels like a lot of you Leos are being very protective and careful with your communication. It's almost like you're aware that some of the things that you can say can come off as passive aggressive if you are hurting or you've been hurt specifically in your love life. But there's this feeling like you need to put up your armor. It's almost like this feeling of self-defense. And it's like some people can say something to you and you'll snap this week in particular and kind of want to protect yourself or defend yourself in some way. And in some ways, I feel like this is a good thing, but also it can also be two-sided, and it can be a not so good thing because you're shutting other people out of your life. Because again, you have pain that you've experienced and some kind of blockage that's going on. A lot of concerns when it comes to your work life, feeling like you're not getting ahead this week, feeling like maybe this job that you're working is not going anywhere, and you've tried to maybe apply for different positions if you work in a large company, or if you haven't, you've applied at different jobs and you've interviewed, but things are just not going the way. And it's kind of causing you unrest. It's causing you to feel almost like a failure in your life. The thing here is that you are reaching a turning point. I feel like you are, if you stay diligent and stay persistent and consistent in your approach, and kind of change it up as well, you are going to start receiving some news possibly this week, possibly going into the month of March. I do feel like things are going to start being more more effective for you, and things are going to start opening up when it comes to your money. Again, very much it's going to require hard work, but there is some rewards on the horizon. But it's going to require a lot of you out there to move away from the old, move away from a job, quit a job, start a new one, walking away from an old position to embrace something that is unknown, kind of scary at first, or may sound kind of threatening in some way, just like anything that you start new. But the end reward is almost like you feeling like you're almost there and you're almost reaching that. So again, for Leos this week in particular, I feel like there's just so much focus on your career more than anything, and also your communication, and being very careful with what you say, especially in your job, because if there's anything that's going on in your love life that is not good, that is affecting you mentally or emotionally, you could easily take that out on coworkers or your boss. And that's a line that you don't want to cross. That's something that you don't want to do, specifically this week. So that was the horoscope for the sign of Leo. Virgo, if you are a Virgo this week, there is a lot of you out there that are feeling like you don't have to work as hard as other people may have maybe doing, or that you looking at your past and seeing how much effort and hard work you've had to put into that, almost like you've been attacked in the past, or people trying to hold you back in some way, and you've had to fend them off and kind of go into battle or confrontation to defend yourself and to stand up for what you believe in. But things this week seem to be on your side. You seem to have a lot of divine assistance, and no one can really touch you. They're from the outside. People are still going to talk about you. They're still going to have an opinion. But Virgo, you don't have to worry about that. What you do have to worry about is something within yourself. I feel like this is communication again. Even though it's almost like an illusion, like even though you've come a long way and you have made progress in healing and not, feeling like you have to be defensive, there's still something that is kind of an illusion and that is blocking you from actually moving forward in your love life, in your personal situations with friendships. It's almost like there's this illusion, and it's just like, I think it's like fear. That's what Spirit is kind of bringing through. It's almost fear that you are feeling. Spirit is telling you to move past that, because you're on the verge of self-discovery and finding some other information about yourself and things that you can do, like hidden talents and things that are being unearthed, so to speak, in many ways. And again, a lot of this has to do around your career, unearthing. But in order to do that, you have to be ready to not sit and procrastinate. Okay. And again, this week, just like a lot of the other signs, for some reason, I see a lot of you walking away from something that no longer serves you. So I feel like this could be potentially a lot of you Virgos contemplating leaving a job and moving on to something better. There is a lot of focus on a celebration, a party, a birthday. There is something coming up here soon in the month of March. It almost feels like, even though this week is still the week of February. And I also feel like there's a lot of focus on a union, a friendship. Maybe you've been noticing that you kind of have been putting your friends or a friendship on the back burner to, make your partner happy, make your children happy. And so that relationship or friendship has kind of suffered in some kind of ways. And there is like a resurrection that is taking place this week in particular, where you may reconnect with that person, even if it's just a brief conversation, a FaceTime, a text message. But don't be surprised if you have been ignoring that person or giving them radio silence or ghosting them, that they are going to embrace you with open arms, because I don't feel like that's the situation. I do feel like there is going to be some kind of, heartfelt pain that they have. And that's your horoscope for this week for the sign of Virgo. Libra, if you are a Libra right now, a lot of you Libras that are not single and in a relationship, there is a lot of focus on your relationship. It's almost like some of you are noticing that maybe your relationship is not a good relationship, but you're still in it, and you're like asking yourself, why am I such a fool? Like, why haven't I not seen the problems here? Like, I've been denying that there is problems in a relationship, or me wanting to reach out to someone that I know is not good for me. Like, why am I putting myself in that situation? And so there is this almost like you having to be strong and kind of ask yourself. And so a lot of you are not going to be very convinced that this is like the spirit or the universe talking to you and letting you know that there is a problem in your love life. That whatever, let's say, even if you're single, let's say you're single and you have maybe some feelings for someone and it's not reciprocated, or in some ways you feel like you're overextending yourself, you're going to start asking yourself, on a very deep level, if you're a Libra out there, why am I even putting myself out there like this? And at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of communication that is being exchanged. And it's almost like you may not feel fulfilled in some ways through that, but you may start communicating with other people that really can give you the satisfaction that you need. Now, I'm not saying that if you're in a relationship that you're going to cheat on your man or your woman, but there is a lot of you out there that could be in open relationships and that would look for somebody else. And if you're not, and you're very loyal and you're single as a Libra, you could be feeling like there's other people, other friendships that are very fulfilling for you. There's something new starting for a lot of you Libras out there, whether it's an idea, working on a project. There is some focus on your finances. You want to grow. You want to see that area more secure in your life. You don't like the feeling of uncertainty. But I also feel like a lot of you could potentially be receiving or unearthing something that you could do to bring more money into your life right now. It's almost like you have, you have tapped into some magical part of yourself, or even some talents that you haven't really explored in many ways, that is going to kind of bring you the income that you desire. But it is a slow process. It's not going to be this week, but it's almost like this week is you, you're having a lot more certainty about certain things, and you're having a lot of clear communication with what you want, what you desire. A lot of you that are twin flames, or that are Libra and have a twin flame out there, there's a lot of communication with a twin flame. A lot of feelings being exchanged. Could be kind of flirty, kind of fun, kind of, makes you feel a certain way. But there is some communication, some thoughts. If you are a single Libra out there, but you've been heartbroken, you could be thinking of your ex this week in particular, and kind of, it has you feeling a certain kind of way. It's almost like you are checking on their social media. You're asking friends about their life, not necessarily because you care, but in some deep level, you may want some kind of revenge or satisfaction, knowing that they are really, like, all the shit that they put you through, that they are receiving it twofold or threefold rather, in their life. And that kind of gives you justification in some ways. So again, there's a lot of mixed emotions this week if you are a Libra, but all of it is pointing to you kind of having the upper hand, like you are the one in control. So this is the horoscope for the sign of Libra. Scorpio, if you're a Scorpio this week, there is a lot of you kind of paying attention to your journey, to your life fulfillment, and what is your life path? What is your purpose right now in your life? A lot of you have been juggling, going back and forth with decisions this week, but there is a lot of deeper thoughts and you tapping into your mystical side if you're a Scorpio out there. It's almost like you don't want to get too happy and too optimistic right now in your life, because you feel something is coming, not necessarily bad, but it is change. And a lot of you Scorpios do not like change or like any surprises or to be surprised. And again, I'm not speaking for every single Scorpio, but a lot of you don't like to be the one not having the upper hand, or being having the insight, the foresight of it happening before it happens. But I do feel like when it comes to your communication and your own feelings, there is some kind of fire deep inside of yourself that's stirring, and it's almost like there is change that is coming. And the change that's coming, it's almost like it's a new level of spiritual awareness about people that wear masks in your life and people who are not authentic, and you removing them completely away from your life, but also serving as a teacher. A lot of communication this week, being busy with text messages, people coming to you for advice, people needing your help because you're that person that carries like a sword. You are that person that can really cut through all the bullshit at the end of the day and tell people how it is to their face, and whether they like it or not, they're going to get the best side of Scorpio this week. And that's what I feel. And I feel like in many ways you're serving as a teacher in other people's lives, even if you don't consider yourself as that. I do feel like there is a sense of you becoming a teacher in many ways, and helping people, not like an actual teacher, but maybe just teaching them through your life lessons and your approaches to life and how you navigate through that. At the same time, there is at the end of the very week, like at the weekend, there is this feeling as we go into March that you feel kind of trapped in a situation. It's almost like you are shielding yourself and pushing people out. You don't want them to tell you how to live your life, how to look, how to dress, how to be, because again, you are very protective and you're kind of done with some people. So the problem with this is that I don't feel like you're allowing other people to come into your inner social circle. You're not allowing new energy to come into your life, and that can form stagnation and not be good for you in the long term. But Spirit is saying that, there is a chance that a lot of you can push through that block, because it's just illusions that you have created for yourself if you're a Scorpio out there this week in particular. So this is your horoscope for the sign of Scorpio. Sagittarius, if you're a Sagittarius this week, it's almost like a lot of you are approaching an ending in your life. It's almost like a lot of you are looking forward to new beginnings. You're done with the situation. You're done with the drama. You're done with just people being shady and being messy in your life if you're a Sagittarius. I also feel like there's a lot of focus on a male figure in your life. So if you're a female or you're a male, there is someone, I feel like this could be a partner in many ways, that you are focused on right now. And this person, you're very fixated on because they are someone that is kind of like the protector of you and others in your family. They may be the person that kind of thinks very logical, but is also the main breadwinner in the family. And that doesn't make a difference really and truly. But in this horoscope this week, that is what's coming through from Spirit. But you also feel like this male is going through some big changes very soon. Things that you're seeing, patterns in their communication, distance that's being created. There are things that you want them to kind of open up to you. You're afraid that perhaps the relationship is not as good as you have thought. And in many ways, these fears are true areas of concern for you. There is a lot of balance that you're trying to figure out this week when it comes to your money. Where is your last couple of dollars going to be going to? A lot of you that are living paycheck to paycheck could probably relate to this. And those of you that have gotten your income tax, it's probably already gone in many ways, because again, you're having to make a lot of different decisions, and some of these decisions don't feel very good. They make you feel kind of, worried because you have money, but it keeps leaving your pocket because there are expenses and other things that are taking precedence over it. But again, you are moving forward with plans, whether these are travel plans, a vacation, or just a weekend road trip. There's a lot of movement this weekend, a lot of traveling going on, a lot of emotional fulfillment on many levels. And again, almost like you're searching for a way to escape from your situation. And I would say that, sometimes when you try to escape a problem, it follows you wherever you go. But I actually feel like this week, if you get away from it, it's not going to follow a lot of you. And some of you may need to step away from a partner, step away from your family for a split second and dedicate it to me time, because a lot of you are just working and dedicating yourselves day in and day out to daily situations that are not allowing you to have any peace of mind. So this is the horoscope for the sign of Sagittarius. Capricorn, if you're a Capricorn this week, a lot of you are kind of feeling like in many ways that you're kind of beating yourself up when it comes to your career. Perhaps, what brings your bread and butter, what brings in the coins, the money to you is not serving you well. There is some sense of like you are working your butt off and you're working very hard, but you're not getting the recognition, and it's causing you stress or health issues. Many of you out there, even if you're young, you could be suffering from high blood pressure, you could be suffering from anxiety. It's almost like you've come to the realization that you're putting your job before your health and before your family, and that is not a good situation. You always need to put yourself first because your body is your temple. There is a male in your life that is probably reminding you and telling you, this could be your partner, your soulmate, your twin flame, someone that is giving you sound advice, and it's like, and they're telling you like, babe, this is not a good situation. You need to move away from it. It's going to be okay, even if we have one income. And a lot of you are just like, no, I need to be on this because you're stubborn if you are a Capricorn out there, and Spirit is telling you to let go of those situations that are no longer healthy for you. There is new opportunities on the horizon, but in order to do that, you have to let go and listen to sound advice when it's given to you. Spirit is saying that you have everything in your disposal. You have all the tools, all the things necessary to make it out there, but a lot of you are just still trapped in a situation, not wanting to move forward and not being able to find a way to do so. And it kind of makes you feel like you're going crazy, but you're not. And there is also a female that is going to be helping you in some kind of way. This could be at a different job, or it could be a girlfriend, a sister, an aunt, someone that is also, that it has money, that perhaps has a good career, and she could put in a good word for you, a referral, and you could be debating whether or not you want to go through with that. Spirit is saying for you to accept it and go forth with it, because again, there's going to be a lot of opportunities that are coming, but you have to go with the flow if you're a Capricorn. And that's the horoscope for this week. All right, if you're an Aquarius, this week for you Aquarians, it's almost like you feel like you don't have enough time in the day. It's almost like you are, every time when you reach a certain level of the day, you kind of reach this point where you kind of want to just shut down. You feel like kind of things are, your worries seem to come up to the surface. This feels like for a lot of you Aquarians that it could be coming from the early morning hours of the day, anywhere between 1 and 5 a.m. And for a lot of you, it could be, between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m., 12 noon. There is a lot of focus on your problems right now and your worries. You need to kind of release that and let go. I think a lot of you out there that are Aquarians are very hard workers, but you may not be seeing a lot of that revenue coming in, or the money that you had hoped on to come in. And there's a lot of pressure if you're a business owner and you have partners out there that, they're putting pressure on you to perform, especially if you are involved in any kind of business that involves sales. There's a lot of pressure for you to produce. And if you are not in sales and you're just a regular business owner or an employee working for someone, there is some demands and some kind of communication that's coming through, and it's not pleasant this week, but you need to just have that woo-saw moment and kind of, release it because it's not going to do you any good. I feel like a lot of you are looking at new ideas and opportunities that could be coming in, because you're just really, at the end of the day, you're done with the routines that are no longer working in your life. And there is money on the horizon coming for a lot of you Aquarians, but it is going to require for you to kind of stand up for yourself. And even if you don't like confrontation, you are being called to that this week in particular, and letting people know that you're not going to tolerate their crap. You're not going to tolerate being a pushover and letting them basically walk all over you. And so sometimes it's going to cause you to also work with your shadow self and get some healing. And I feel like a lot of you are going to start realizing out there how beautiful you really are, how beautiful your soul is, because again, you've neglected a lot of this to make other people happy, to bend over backwards for other people who really don't care about you. It's all about a number game, or it's all about what they can get out of you for the cheapest pay. So again, it's time this week for you to take a stand and no longer let people walk all over you. Set some boundaries, because it's all about boundaries, even if you are afraid of the outcome. In most cases, these are just self-created fears that have no rhyme or reason, but they are there, and you can only push through them and push forward. So that's the horoscope for an Aquarius out there for this week. All right, and last but not least is my Pisces out there. So if you are a Pisces, I feel like a lot of you are going through some issues with your relationship. If you are in a relationship, even though you don't want the world to know, what's really happening, because you're very private, or you don't feel like they really need to know, other people need to know about what's happening in your love life. I do feel like for a lot of you, there is some shame. There is some feelings like, even though you may have gotten what you wanted, even though you may be in a relationship with the person that you so desired, no matter whatever the means were to get with that person or to have that relationship, you are feeling alone. That person may, be with you at certain moments. They may, parade you around in the public. But at the end of the day, people are looking from the outside and seeing certain things, but that doesn't matter to you what other people think. What really is mattering is what you feel. And a lot of you are feeling, like you're being neglected. Yes, you may go places with this person. Yes, there may be events, but you're feeling like on a deeper level, this person isn't loyal to you. And you're asking yourself, why are you with this person? Because you come from two different worlds. But there is also this sense that, you hold the power deep within yourself, and it's like you may have moments this week where you're feeling lonely, and even though you have great friendships, you don't trust a lot of people if you're a Pisces out there, because you feel like either someone is coming in to mess up your relationship or to mess up what you've worked so hard to attain. But really and truly, you have to ask yourself, if you are a Pisces out there, what have you really gained from this experience? What have you really acquired, and what have you learned from it? It feels like you have had to defend yourself and fight a long battle to have what you wanted, but it comes at a price. And so a lot of you are seeking out your own spiritual gifts, or you're seeking out a spiritual guru, a spiritual advisor for clarity, because you are worried essentially, and you may not want your partner to know that you are going out there and looking for insight from psychics or from advisors, because there is this certain level of shame that if other people find out that you really are worried about certain things, that your relationship is going to kind of be exposed for what it really is. And so a lot of you out there are dealing with that, dealing with finances as well. A lot of you are not happy at your jobs. You're not happy in the position that you are in, and you may be looking for your partner to rescue you in some way, to be the person that's the main breadwinner, that will have your back. And even though they may do that temporarily for you, you don't want to lose your power and your independence financially. So it has you at a crossroads. For many of you, you want to be loved this week. You desire for other people to really see what you see in the mirror, which is maybe you may see your beauty, but a lot of you may not see that. And so you may need validation from, posting photos on Instagram, posting photos on Facebook, or making a post. And it's like a lot of you are looking at more of the superficial things that don't matter, and those are illusions that cause stagnation and blockages. A lot of you are looking for likes, how many likes you can get, because that is a world that we're very in right now. It's very narcissistic, and you don't need to follow in the footsteps of those individuals that think like that, because numbers do not equate your value at the end of the day. Do you hear that? Numbers do not equate your value and how valuable you are as a person. And again, it's almost like you are very focused on love this week in particular. So whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, there's a lot of focus on your love life, and that's a horoscope for my Pisces out there. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel by hitting that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon. Don't forget to pick up my Dulce Amor oil, spiritual oil that I have available in my shop. Also, if you'd like to book a private psychic reading, yes, yes, I read anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or you are not a celebrity. You can book a reading by going to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And don't forget to follow me also on IG and Facebook. Instagram and Facebook at Psychic Medium Ray. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.